We back at it. G. Bush, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Hit those thumbs up, and make sure you continue to support the shows. We got Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, but we give you that Ultimate Browns every Monday from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. We might extend it. We might not. We'll see what we can do. But I'm just glad you guys are enjoying it. If you do, put those thumbs up for me and make sure you hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel so you know when we're coming on. So let's get to this. So the Browns going free agency on defense. Now, not to say that they don't got enough money to do a lot of things. We talked about this a little bit on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and it was me, Adam the Bull, and Jason Lloyd. And we said, now listen, there's some names out there that is worthy of looking at. I know we like receivers, but there's some guys that can help us on the other side of the ball.
Brian Burns, the young, talented pass rusher, teaming him up with Myles Garrett on the other edge. Jason, is that a match made in heaven, or would that be too much to pay for an elite pass rusher on a contract that, as a 26-year-old, 25-year-old pass rusher, is going to be quite expensive?
No, I do think that that's one of the spots where I think they need to look this year is the edge rusher opposite of Myles. What are you going to do there? It's been a problem for, aside from Jadeveon Clowney's first year in Cleveland, it's been an issue really since he got here. So, and if you can find someone a little bit on the younger side, sure, and invest some dollars in, I would be fine with that.
Guys, he's a no-brainer, and here's why. First, not only is he really good, he's missed 3 games in his career in 5 years. That's it. He's played all but 3 games in his career. Now, he had his second lowest sack total this year, but he had nothing around him in Carolina.
Yeah.
And teams were running a lot. But he's never had less than 7.5 sacks in 5 years in the league, including his rookie year, 7.5 sacks. He's played mostly with lousy talent around him. This guy's a no-brainer, and he's young. I think he's just going to turn 26 next month or in April.
Yeah, he's 25 and 306 days.
Yeah, so he's about to turn 26. Prime of his career, no-brainer.
Those are the guys to target.
So, as you see there on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, make sure you're checking out that 11-1 every single day. Adam the Bull and Jason Lloyd, I agree with them in there. When you get a guy like Brian Burns and you take a look at the guy, what he's able to do, and you look at the situation with him, he's a guy who's in his prime. He's a guy that can go opposite of Myles Garrett. And if you don't like the production of Zadarius Smith and you may want to get an upgrade there, here's a guy, if you don't got a receiver, I'm all for going on and putting some money on him. Like, this is a guy you could put some money on, because now what you do is you bolster the other side. You can always move Alex right down. Okoronkwo is a guy that I think you're going to use in your pass rush downs. And heck, for me, if the guys want to keep getting injured and Zadarius Smith wants to come back, I'm down for giving Zadarius Smith a little bit of a deal, having Brian Burns as your starter, and now you got more depth. So for me, I'm looking at guys like Brian Burns, who's another guy who I wouldn't mind giving a long-term deal to, especially in the prime of his career, and probably to me would be the best pass rusher opposite of Myles Garrett. Let's keep rolling. We ain't done with this. For me, there's another guy that I would think about giving a long-term deal to, Brandon Matabuke. This guy is a dominant player, 13 sacks for the Baltimore Ravens in the middle. You do 2 things. You take one of the Baltimore Ravens' best players, and you do another thing. You augment and you get with your best unit. You can now say, with him and Dalvin Tomlinson and the way he can rush the passer, you thought you had problems coming to Cleveland running the ball and doing something before? You ain't doing none of that if you get him. Now, I don't know, to me, a lot of this stuff, when you raise up and when you give a lot of guys that amount of money in free agency, the salary cap went up $30 million. So when you talk about going up $30 million and doing like that, there's a lot of people who now have money, a lot of Cincinnati Bengals who tag T. Higgins. They got money to do something too. So I don't know why the Ravens would give up on a guy this young in the prime of his career, but it looks like they're dragging their feet on doing it. And he's a guy, if he did have and did get to where he was available, he's another guy I'm definitely digging in my pockets and going above and beyond and getting a defensive player. Let's keep it pushing. This guy's another one. Antoine Winfield Jr. Now, look, I know you got Juan Thornhill. I know you just gave Grant Delpit some money, but this is the best safety in the game. If you want to talk about no-fly zones, you get him, Delpit, You already got Ward, Emerson, Newsom at the nickel. No one's doing nothing. We shutting that down. We got tagged. This guy gets sacks. This guy is physical. This guy can play deep. He can play up. I love Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going through a little something right now. They got Mike Evans, free agent. They got to make some decisions. Antoine Winfield Jr. as well as Baker Mayfield. What are you going to do? What y'all going to do, Buccaneers? We waiting on you. Another guy will give up some bread for. Let's get to it. The big helmet himself. The most dominant defensive tackle, one of the number, is either Aaron Donald or Jones. Chris Jones or Aaron Donald, either one. You can't go wrong. 12 sacks with the homie. This guy is a monster. Can play inside, can play outside. Can you imagine? 4th and 7, 3rd and 8. You lining up, and they got to throw the football, and you got Myles Garrett on one side, along with Chris Jones. But on the other side, you got Okoronkwo. You still got Dalvin Thompson, and you still got JOK Spot. Stop playing. Devastating to people. That is the type of energy that I love talking about when you get a guy like Chris Jones. So, look, if you can't get it done offensively, Operation Stockpile, I'm giving you all types of different ways that you can get it done. You don't get it nowhere better than this, man. I'm giving you NFL draft prospects. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to talk about the NFL guys that we talk about on defense and free agents that we can get into that can make the team better. See, it ain't all about the quarterback. We keep talking about the quarter. G. Bush is the quarterback. It's the quarterback, G. Bush. You have to make everyone around you better. I'm like, if I hear that one more time, Jiminy Christmas, like the cliches that come out of the quarterback has to be the person that makes everyone so much better. Jesus. Oh. It's just ad nauseum.